Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Thursday night. Welcome to Side Quest Side Sesh. There's a lot going on in the world right now. I'm sure a lot of you are anxious about certain things. And I want to talk about that tonight because I'm sure there's something that's on your mind as much as it is mine. What is going on with Claire's season of The Bachelorette? First, everyone was all excited about her, but then subreddit's just saying nobody wanted her. Now they're seeing Tasha and Hannah Ann there. What's going on? Is Claire out? Rumor has it she met a guy during the quarantine and wanted out. I think ABC nudged her out because they wanted Tasha. Joe, your thoughts?
I've never seen an episode. No idea what you're talking about. Sorry, man.
Wasn't there a thing with Hannah? Wasn't there like a rumor that she was seeing somebody and then ahead of time? Oh no, it was on Hannah's season. No. There was a guy that had a girlfriend, right? And he apparently had the girlfriend the whole time and was like, this was all like a ploy.
I appreciate you jumping in. That's every season. There's always a guy who has a girlfriend and she confronts him and then he walks off through the bushes and it's like, I just turn the cameras off. That's not true. I got to go back to my girlfriend. I mean, my job.
wasn't he like a guitar player or something? This was all to like boost his recording.
Oh career. Yeah, no, that was you're thinking of Hannah B. I'm talking about Hannah Ann from last season. But yeah, Hannah B. She picked the guitar guy, and he just wanted to be a country music star. He didn't give a shit about her, and he had a girlfriend. Oh, don't get me started on that season.
I have a theory that maybe a televised game show isn't the best way to find true love. And it's just a theory. But I think there's some evidence to support that notion.
I mean, you should examine that, Skid. You might find some data to support it. Who knows, right? You don't want to go in with too strong a hypothesis.
I'm no scientist.
Why don't you tell that to Tristan Ryan, Skid? Or Sean Lowe and Catherine Gaducci.
Oh, I will.
They're still together
Catherine
years later. Anyways, welcome to SideQuest Side Sesh / The Bachelor Bachelorette Hour, where we talk about role-playing and also dabble in what's going on with dating shows.
Reality dating TV.
Reality Steve is a big fan of us. He knows everything. You know about Reality Steve? It's this guy who's got someone on the inside, and he spoils every season. They sign every contract in the book. Reality Steve. He knows somebody. And I don't even, he sounds like a real winner, but I just love his name. It's like Cheliax.
Real thing?
It's like Cheliax Steve.
Steve?
Reality Steve.
Reality Steve.
Shelly Steve. Reality Steve. How's everybody doing tonight? You talk.
Hey, Grant, you want to answer the phone?
Yeah, Grant.
You know what? There's a couple
just tell
things.
me you're in a meeting.
There's a couple things that have made me angry this week. First off, it's Matthew's tone. Secondly, I got to go to the beach this weekend, which should have been a joyous occasion. The Rockaways. It's no Turks and Caicao, but it's all I got within 20 minutes driving from my house, okay? I did a handstand in the water, felt free as a bird, lost my wedding ring. I'm now married to the sea.
You're married to the sea.
I'm married to the sea. Sorry, Angel. But yeah.
There were so many humble brags in there, like went to the beach to take my shirt off and show my new physique, and I've lost so much weight that the ring just slipped right off into the ocean.
I'll tell you the final thing that pisses me off besides that snide remark, Troy, is the fact that you and Joe are upping the light game. We are in a standoff of epic proportions, and you know what? These colors don't run. You cannot win a contest of lights with this guy. We're in the club 24/7, 365, because I'm married to the sea and we're having a party in Atlantis.
Damn it, Burger. I went 19 weeks before being like, I can't have Grant have the best lighting out of all 5 of them. Now you one-upped us again.
For 20 weeks, I've been furious. And tonight, I was like, okay, I got something. At least I can bring something to the table. Now they're blinking. I'm out of here.
I'm having a seizure.
You seem like the type that would have a seizure, Matthew.
What is that supposed to mean, Joe?
It means you don't like nightclubs and a good time.
You have a 4 constitution.
I actually am very hardy. but my constitution score for my level of irritation with nightclubs is very low, exceedingly low.
Low will save.
I have a very low will save when I'm in a nightclub.
Do you find yourself in a lot of nightclubs these days?
Oh, no, I have to avoid them because of the season.
Oh, God. Another Saturday at 4 a.m. Here I am in the nightclub. The life of a Capra Casa.
Just waiting for the Molly to wear off. Looking at my watch.
I thought Matthew was more of a GHB user, but
I'll remember this forever, Dad. I won't, son. I won't.
Imagine if we started this show like 15 years ago when we're all degenerates.
Oh, man.
I'm sure Matthew went through a degenerate phase. Even little Matthew.
Did you ever? Well, let me rephrase it. Have you ever had fun?
Fun? What's fun? What is this fun you speak of?
He's like, yes, I've sat and read a book all afternoon. It was amazing.
Fun without a chorus of people singing.
No, yeah, wait, no, there's no kick line at the end of fun? I don't know what that is.
It doesn't
I'm
count.
sorry. Tell me more.
Yeah, what were you in your wild days, Matthew? What were your wildest days? Was it just like, getting drunk with my buddies in Jersey, wearing our Devils jerseys, breaking into car windows,
Doing some whippets, getting some hookers.
I have never been a Devils fan, and I never will be. However, we did. I guess I did have a wild phase. We've talked about this before, where we did all the weird NJ stuff. You get in someone's car, you go up on Johnson Drive, wait for the witch to come after you, or you go out to the Devil's Tree, and you try to pee on it.
What?
Part of the thing.
Wait. Hashtag NJ Life.
I think at the beginning of SideQuest Side Sesh, didn't Matthew yell at someone for publicly urinating or the idea of publicly urinating? And now we learn that that's what you did in your pastime. So you were really ashamed of yourself the whole time?
I never did it, and it's not public urination because the tree is on private property, and that's the thing. You got to go and pee on the tree before someone in a black SUV comes and tries to run you down. That's the whole game.
And you didn't pee on the Devil's Tree, which is why you're cursed to this day. Legend has it.
Day.
Old man Jersey says.
Why tonight's the anniversary?
By midnight. You're cursed for the rest of your life. Skid, did you have some weird traditions back in Colorado, like peeing on a Devil's Tree and whatever else Matthew said?
No. I remember watching SNL and then walking around the neighborhood and going out on the golf course and looking at rabbits. But that was
1 a.m?
Yeah. But that was because we were on mushrooms. I don't know if it's a tradition per se, more than just something that happened.
Were the rabbits real?
I think so.
Who's to say?
I believe they were.
Were these Dana Carvey, Mike Myers years, or?
Yeah. Yes, it was Wayne's World. Like I remember specifically watching Wayne's World. It's like, man, that new Wayne's World bit is really something. Let's go to the golf course.
Let's go to the golf course and chase imaginary bunny.
Yeah. And my friend Peter Lund. That's what we would do. It was glorious.
Graham, what about you? Did you do mushrooms and go shoot bunnies?
No, I went drag racing once in my Chevy Lumina against a richer kid. Let's be clear here. With that had a. Because I'm not going to say that my parents weren't. They were awful attorneys and psychotherapists. Anyway, the point is, and that's why I went to art school. The point is I raced a kid in a brand new yellow Land Rover, like it was like a sporting racing one, and we went all the way around a corner.
Oh, that's right, because you were like rich and you had all rich friends.
Yeah. But like it was all great. But everyone else had a BMW. I had a Chevy Lumina. That was the difference.
Oh, how embarrassing!
How embarrassing. So
make it through. It's tough being
I raced this kid around the Dead Man's Curve, for lack of a better term, right by the Dallas Country Club. And in order to avoid hitting him, I had to go over the curb, and I broke the undercarriage of the car. I got out a few blocks later and looked around the car. My friend and I did a run around, and I realized the license plate had gone off during that crash. So we drove back with like the wheel dragging off the side and sparks going off the side of the road to get the license plate back. and move on from there. I think we're outside the statute of limitations this many years on, but please don't send me any bills to Alice Country Club.
Oh, man.
What happened to the car?
Yeah.
Oh, it was totaled. I totaled the car.
So that
How many
was it.
cars have you totaled in your life?
Just the one. The
Come on.
other major accident I got in was ruled as not my fault, and I had to witness someone who was on their smoke break from Radio Shack who came to the police on my behalf without me asking and said it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, but
You
you still
accidentally
totaled the car.
smushed it in your hand. Like,
Oh, I don't like Corvette. It wasn't his fault that the car looked so tasty. No,
cherry
but
red.
that was the car right after the Lumina. My uncle found for me from a third grade teacher in Tempe, Arizona, or Flagstaff maybe. Got sent to Dallas. Smelled like cigarettes, and it was like the non-turbo powered Mitsubishi Eclipse, like the red one. It was like 7 years old, and I didn't fit in it, and it was very slow. But like people would always drive up alongside of me thinking I was a cute girl, and like they'd look in from their truck like up really high, and they'd always be really disappointed. Right.
It smashed up against the window.
And when I went over speed bumps, my head would hit the roof every time. It was the worst car of my life.
Joe, I imagine a rowdy night for you as your friends you would sneak down to Gino's and steal the sweet peppers from the condiment rack.
How many hot peppers can you eat?
Come on, guys!
Oh, God. Actually, hearing Grant's story made me think of an old story of mine from high school. This is not being bad, but I drove in high school my grandfather's old car, which was a 1980 Mercury Monarch. It was a beast. It was a beast. It's a boat. It's the kind of one where you sit in the driver's seat and it looks like the hood is rising up away from the windshield to the headlights. And I drove it to New York City with my buddy because we got tickets to Letterman. So we go to Letterman and have the most amazing time because I am such like a pudgy, hideous piece of trash in high school. And this dude was incredibly good looking. He was the prom king. He was a football team. He was the star of all the shows. He was a super popular dude and very good looking guy. So we're
Slumming
in
it
line.
for the weekend with you because you got Letterman tickets.
Exactly. He's like, I'll take pity on this loser. So we go up to New York and we're in line for Letterman out front. And this like PA is walking by with like her little headset and she just like walks by us and stops, comes back. She's like, hey, you two, come with me. So we walk over like, okay. And they walk us into this like separate thing and put us directly in the front row right behind the camera. And I'm like looking left and right down the front row. And it's just like all these incredibly attractive people. And I was just like, I totally snuck into this because I'm with this dude. And we had a great time. And Letterman made a joke about us and it was awesome. And then we hopped in the car and went home and blew out a tire on the Jersey Turnpike at like 10 o'clock at night and spent the entire night overnight. Cop came, couldn't get the thing. Well, the lug nut was rusted shut, whatever. Had to spend an overnight in Jersey. Like it was an awful, awful, awful night.
You were unable to find the replacement carburetor for the Model T you were driving?
Yes, exactly.
Aruga.
Good times. Good times. High school.
Good times. Don't have any memory of it. Before we jump in tonight, we've got some announcements. Obviously, a lot of juicy stuff happening in the Naish. Next weekend, obviously next Thursday, we're going to do Side Quest Side Sesh 22. Hopefully with a new party, if I am able to kill them all tonight. And then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we're doing a 3-day Strange Aeons Glass Cannon Live Marathon to see how close we can get to the end of book one. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't really want to think about it because it makes me very nervous. But that's going to be next weekend, so make sure you check that out. We'll be going live 6 o'clock on Saturday, Eastern, 6 on Sunday, and then 7 on Monday for the big finale. We miss playing these characters. We got to bring them back. So make sure you check it out because in addition to playing the game, we're going to be giving you some big updates on the state of the Naish going into the fall and winter. So don't miss those shows. Joe thinks we're going to get 2,000 viewers, and I laughed right in his face because I'd be surprised if we got more than 800. So prove me wrong.
I really think we can do it. I think
Not
that
gonna
people have to make a concerted effort. I don't think it's just going to happen organically. I think we have to cheat a little, but we can do it.
I'm not about cheating.
I'm fine with cheating.
It's not cheating
but yeah,
to pay people to come watch you do things.
Let's get some Russian assistance. And then I think with some Russian assistance, we could get up over 2,000.
It's like those ads. Pay $200 for 50 Instagram subscribers.
Yeah.
I'm saying Saturday night, we're starting at 6 o'clock, but if you can't make 6 o'clock, you got dinner with the family. It's 3 o'clock on the West Coast. I understand. 8 o'clock Eastern. If it's 8 o'clock Eastern, that's fine. Try to shoot for 8 o'clock. Just turn on your phone for like 10 minutes and we'll get over 2,000 at 8 o'clock. Just
It's not
target that.
cumulative over the weekend, you know. It's got to be 2,000 at one time.
It's got to be concurrent viewers.
Concurrent.
So that I can, shove it in this guy's face. I think we can
Bring
do it.
it.
I don't see why we can't do it. We've done
Shove it.
1,500. We have 10,000 Patreon subscribers. We can do this. People just have to set aside a little bit of time. That's all.
Let's see. People got a lot going on, and maybe they don't like us. We dropped some new merch today. Make sure you check out the new merch store and buy everything. I think we already sold out of those sweet Tom Exposition shirts that we had.
Oh, we did?
There's not a lot left, if any. So
man.
hop on there and buy it. If we sell out fast, we'll make more, or maybe we won't. But I've stalled enough. Let's make some stuff up, play pretend, and hopefully entertain. In that order. We ended last week's Ep-Zony, if you will, with you guys sneaking into the Baron's study. You've done what you feel is a full exploration of Boroy Manor, and now it's time to confront the Baron. You had snuck in there, I think. Alfonso snuck in there, and the music was strangely loud as he did. He was able to...
Sorry, you've interrupted me during my record hour.
You snuck in and you broke into a little cabinet that housed one strange book with a crescent moon on it. You open it up, mostly blank except for a bunch of strange silhouettes on the pages.
I was so excited about that. It was such an incredible letdown. And just a reminder that we have to get some goddamn magic in this party as soon as possible.
One of us needs to die so we can make that happen.
How did it take 20 episodes and 40 plus hours for us to realize that? It has to happen.
Never seen anybody just roll around with a wand to detect magic. It just seems like there's always someone that knows it. Not this party.
Yeah, not this party. But yeah, we can get a wand to detect magic. It's totally affordable. It's a level 0 spell.
Someone actually wrote in, too, with a possible solution.
Really?
The appraise skill detects magic if you succeed the check by 5 or more.
Oh.
That's amazing.
And the identify is on Alfonso's spell list, so all we would have to do is buy a scroll of it, and then he would learn the spell.
I could do the formula. The formula.
That's pretty sweet.
Right.
I like the idea that
Derek Alexander wrote in with that suggestion.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really like that idea that if you appraise it by more than 5, like you can't sense an aura emanating from it, but you notice maybe some runes inscribed, and you're like, oh, this is magical.
Yeah. This Fabergé egg is magic.
Dropped it.
No.
No, I do like that. That's good.
You all enter the Baron's study because the door's open and he's not there. You're like, why don't we all go in there? You turn around and he's standing at the doorway. He was not very friendly last time you saw him. He seems very a man possessed, obsessing over the state of his barony, the state of Carpad, this disease, the fetchling disease, they call it tallow-throat, and some other shit. He's standing there. Turn around. I'll role play your characters for you.
Yeah.
He looks at you and says, I understand my wife gave you the freedom to roam about the manor. But perhaps you have misunderstood what that means. Staring at you, and his eyes look like they're like looking past you.
I guess so. Sir, Lord Baron, we assumed that we were allowed everywhere, including your most private chambers.
Full run, didn't they say, Karazor?
Yeah, full run, I think she said, and I would assume that would include your private papers and most valued possessions, all the like. Perhaps we apologize if we have misunderstood in any way. Naturally.
I mean, we have seen your bedroom, so it seemed that was the most private of all of your private chambers. So you can understand our mistake if... Yes, what Karazor said.
Well, also, I believe perhaps I misunderstood our last conversation, but I seem to remember you being very concerned about the tallow throat and its grip on your people, trying to get to the bottom of what is happening and how to stop it. And that is our chief concern. That is what leads us here.
Yes, that too.
Perhaps you do things differently from wherever it is you come from. But entering a man's chambers uninvited.
Yes, we would
Bad
hate to
business.
lurk in the dark.
In the shadows, as it were.
What did you say to me? He walks in, kind of past you, over to a table, starts shuffling through some papers. Well then, what have you discovered about the troubles facing my realm?
Well, there is much to discuss, Lord Baron, and many questions to be asked. I believe a lot of those questions, I am sorry to say, point back here. And so I am curious to know exactly why it is that you terminated the Kyle from your employ. I do not see any evidence thus far that the disease infects them at all, nor that they spread it to anyone that they are around. What gave you this inclination that it starts with the Kyle?
It seems to be a disease born of shadow, and they are shadow people. I just figured it would be a no-brainer.
A logical step, I can see it, yes.
Rid of them. And since I have, the tallow throat has not infected the manor, so perhaps I was correct.
But there is shadow stuff infecting the manor, is there not? What is going on with the fountain in your courtyard?
The fountain is clogged, I believe. I apologize. I guess the manor has gone into disrepair since I have become preoccupied with trying to save Carpat. Were you to visit under any other circumstances, the water would be clear and beautiful.
I'm going to roll a sense motive with my new Norse Foundry dice that were shipped to my house 2+ months ago when I was in Oklahoma. They've just been sitting here. I finally got back and I got them. So thank you guys. They're awesome. Look at that little green, little black.
Gorgeous. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, first non. I did the inaugural roll on Instagram, but
This counts.
this counts. That is a 20. I'm sorry, I forgot my inspiration. It's a 23 plus a cracked die plus a 6. That's a 29.
Ooh, damn.
I would also like to roll a perception to see if the Baron currently has a shadow.
Me too.
Okay. All right, go ahead and roll that. Sesh.
Natural 20.
Oh, good start to the sesh, dude.
Natural 1.
Oh, bad start to the sesh, dude.
Are you at Maxine Vetro right now?
I am indeed.
Who are you? Who'd you bring to today's session?
Adjunct Instructor Maxine Vetro looks and sees as he walks about the room the one light source in there hitting him. No shadow on the wall. Karazor has never seen so many shadows as he sees when he looks at the Baron.
This man,
A veritable cornucopia
shadows.
He starts stabbing at them. He just still has shell shock from all those shadow fights.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, so it looks no shadow, Maxine V. Alfonso, doing a sense motive on him, it looks like as he was saying that, he was kind of like gritting his teeth. Like he is trying not to show his hand.
You and I both know that the fountain is not simply clogged. There is something more sinister going on. And if you do not know it, then I have much concern. Because you, as the Baron of this house, must know everything that goes on inside of it. Upstairs and down, inside and out. And right under your own nose, you have a fountain that is infected with the shadow stuff of another plane. This is not a clogged fountain, but something far worse, and I think you know it.
If this is something you feel to be true, something you have discovered in your investigation, then I will have the fountain blocked off until we can figure out what exactly is going on there. I appreciate your work. Whether or not it's true, we will certainly follow up with that. Yes, I will make a note in my book that we will follow up about the fountain. Is there anything else? Because I must get back to my research, and I need to. I should probably.
Baron, please, I can see that you are preoccupied and you would want us out of your hair, and I could completely understand that.
Thank you. Good
but
day,
it concerns me greatly that you simply take a note about the existence of shadow planar invasion within your own home, especially during a time when you know the Tallothroat comes from the shadow plane. How can you write this off as on the to-do list for tomorrow?
Yes,
Come on, snap out of it.
A to-do list seems so ineffectual.
What? It smells like a dog.
What did you say? I do not have the means of dealing with such a thing. I will block it off, as I said, and I will call the priest of Zonkuthon. Yes, Radus, he will come here and he will assess it. Perhaps he can deal with it. We are not equipped. I must tell my wife to not go near the fountain. Yes, and the staff to stay away as well, if it is possible. But I do not know. I am no magician, so I don't know why you are yelling at me about this. This is my house, and I will take care of it.
Good, I'm glad to hear that you will. Now, as I said, you seem very preoccupied. You seem to want us out of your hair, and I'm curious what it could be that preoccupies you so much more than the people that know more than anyone else about what is going on with this disease. Tell me.
What else do you think you know?
Well, for example, we know that your brothers were not buried in the cemetery as you pretended they were.
What did you say?
You heard me, you shadowless mother. Friend.
You mother friend.
Ow.
Friend of my mother's.
How dare you speak of my brothers and their burial rites? That is no business of yours. What happened with them? They met an untimely death, and I still mourn them to this day. I do not know what it is you speak of. There's a diplomacy or an intimidate check coming up, but if you want to lay more cards on the table, you're welcome to.
There is also...
Excuse me, Alfonso, my lord. And she kind of becomes all polite. We understand that running a barony and an entire city is a great responsibility.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, yes. I can only imagine the sheer number of decisions you must make on a day-to-day basis.
You have no idea. I'm not some simple adjunct instructor. I have real responsibility. People depend on me for their lives.
For their lives, not just their grades.
Crystal Ghost. Yes, he is more like the Crystal Ghost, someone important. Yes.
I can tell you're mocking me, and not mocking the great crystal ghost, that's neither here nor there at this moment. I just want to say to the Lord Baron that we understand that sometimes you have to make decisions that, when viewed in the harsh light of day, may not seem on the quote-unquote up and up. And that sometimes things can get very out of hand. And perhaps it's our specialty. Out of hand tends to be what we deal with very well.
He's kind of like chewing his jaw as you say that, like becoming visibly nervous now. You have.
And there is just one more thing. Were you aware that the captain of your guard was missing his own daughter? That she had been kidnapped? Did you know this? Sense motive.
No.
Natty 19. 32.
He says no, but there's a long pause there. Like, maybe he did know. Maybe he didn't know the daughter went missing, but it sounds like he's aware. Maybe word has traveled to him that, like, some people are missing.
Yeah. I'm afraid to report then, since of course you do not know, that she is one of many who disappeared. They were taken by a man. Well, not a man so much as a creature. An extraplanar being who beneath the very chandler in your village, in your barony, was abducting souls to sacrifice them to the dark satyr Inofex. None of this rings a bell to you?
I do not know why you come here and tell these fairy tales to me. I was under the impression that you were honorable mercenaries, if there is such a thing. And you come here and you are given a place to sleep. You are given the finest food and desserts that are seen all over Nidal. And then you make such absurd accusations. You should leave.
No, the food was subpar, which absolves us of any responsibility of which you speak.
You should go. Roll a diplomacy or intimidate. In this case, intimidate will follow the same rules for diplomacy. So if you nail it, you tell me who wants to roll it, and then you can aid.
I think Cars is going to do an intimidate.
I have a plus 13 to diplomacy, since I am currently the adjunct instructor.
I have a plus 9, but I do roll a d20 and a d6.
Oh, you have the inspiration.
So I don't know how that factors in mathematically. Grant, figure it out real quick.
On average, it'll kind of go in the wash unless you go very high. I mean, on average, it'll be about the same. Actually, a point less than what Matthew has.
Well then, there you go.
And I'll aid diplomacy too.
I'll aid as well.
All right, so
we're aiding Joe.
roll.
So yeah,
Raven.
I can't fail in it. Oh, am I doing it? No, is Matthew rolling it?
I thought Matthew was.
Okay, Matthew, you roll it. I can't fail an 8, so plus 2 from me.
Just for shits and giggles, I want to know what Braven does to aid, because you've been oddly quiet ever since your drag racing story.
That wasn't Braven's story.
You're just good to aid.
If I'm
For fun.
If I'm attempting to avoid any culpability for the accident I described earlier this evening, it was Braven's story. He was the one
I was that
racing that
boy.
evening. Braven just kind of, even though his ears are missing, he bares his teeth every time. He's kind of like a hype man in a 1989 like hip hop group. He's like
Flavor Flav.
He's Flavor Flav, essentially. And every time like Karazor says something to intimidate him, or Joe brings up the truth, or Matthew Capitacasa, aka Maxine Vetro, tries to wiggle her way in there, he bares his teeth and kind of grunts at the right times to reinforce them. And he rolls an 18.
Plus 2. Plus 2 from Skid. And Joe, did you give Matthew the plus dose?
Yep.
All right, that's a plus 6 to adjunct instructor Maxine V.
So that is a 32 diplomacy.
Ooh. That's right on the line, bro. It's right on the line.
It was a middle roll.
You watch him, and he's very fidgety now. It's entering his hands. It's gone from his face to the rest of his body, and he turns around and stands at the window and kind of grips down on the sill. And you just hear him very weakly say, "It was the mirror."
What?
The moment I found it amidst the detritus of generations of boys, I knew it was meant for me to discover, to use for my benefit. He turns back to you. "It is not my fault I was born third. Why should I not have a chance to inherit the family lands, to hold the title of Baron? I was just as capable." So when I found the dark mirror, it called to me, and I answered. As I gazed into the darkness of the glass, he turns around again, looking out the window. I saw in the reflection a manor similar to Boroi Manor, similar to my family home, yet so different, shadowy and hazy, like a half-remembered dream. Yet where my reflection should have been, there stood instead a dark figure, taller than a man, with a face covered in a white mask and eyes like distant stars. This was Nikesor, both the mirror's master and its greatest prisoner. This creature, he and his people were advisors to the Barois centuries ago, or so he said, but they overstepped themselves and were imprisoned in the mirror, damned to an eternity of torment inside of it. We struck up a friendship, he and I. Maybe that is not the right word, but it just became quickly apparent as we talked that we had things in common. We sought similar things in life, yes? And perhaps the other one could provide for each other. I was just looking for a means of wresting power from my brothers, and Nikaisor was looking for a way to escape his prison. So we struck a bargain. He agreed to help me succeed my father as Baron, and I, in return, would trade places with him for 1 year, once every decade, granting Nikesor control of my body so he could escape his prison for a time without anyone knowing he was free. I sent both of my brothers into the Midnight Mirror to live an eternity as his prisoners. I told everyone that they perished of a sudden illness, and when my father died shortly thereafter of natural causes, I was crowned Baron of Karpad. That was 10 years ago. Time, it passes so quickly. In the back of my mind, I knew that my time to repay the debt was coming, but I did not trouble myself with these thoughts. What's 1 year of my life for all that I have been given? But then I took a wife, and she bore me a son. Even then, a part of me was still willing to exchange bodies with Nikesor. But then I thought, what if he if he keeps my body forever, what will he do to my wife? To my son, as well as to my land and my people? So I broke my pact with Nikesor. And in his rage, he vowed to ruin all that I hold dear. This disease, I didn't do it.
But you did.
I didn't. It was perhaps an adverse result of not failing to meet the terms of my agreement, but I did not cause it directly. I did not bring it in.
But your betrayal of your brothers, that is the root of all of this.
The root of all this is truly your own weakness. If you were strong like your brothers, you would have strangled them yourselves, tossed them aside. For you see, Zankuthan is the lord of murder, and appreciates someone with ambition. Your Aunt Evgeny told us so, as we spoke to her from beyond the grave. She said she'd be proud of you if you had the backbone to take over. But instead you made a pact with a little shadow man and a little mirror, as small as your own ambition and your own bravery. You've made this bed. You gotta sleep in it. But we'll try to lower the collateral damage if we can, Baron.
Now you understand why I have had to resort to desperate measures to protect my people and to preclude mass hysteria at this spreading plague.
Yes, of course, and I, for one, say, for me, what's done is done. There is no going back. There is no changing the decisions you made. But now we must figure out how to save your family, how to save your wife and your child, and the people of your village.
People of this country.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mentioned a little girl disappearing. There are others, yes?
Yes, there were.
We were able to save the girl.
Some were not so lucky.
Some were not so lucky.
Who did this?
Did we ever get a name?
I don't think so.
We just knew it was a lurker in light, right?
Yes. We knew that it was a lurker in light. He did not give himself a name, if it is a he at all. Perhaps we can call him Wilson.
Wilson.
Yes,
Wilson, to keep it easy.
No, his name is Ilqui.
Ilqui.
That is way better than Wilson.
That is better.
It is another part of my desperation. I made yet another unfortunate deal with him to...
Come on! Stop making
What?
I did not know. I was desperate.
You keep going back to the same loan shark expecting different results.
I had no choice. He said he could keep the treacherous shadows of night at bay. He promised me he could ward the town from shadowy powers, so I gave him run of the town in return. I told him to take any actions necessary to ensure safety. And then his face grows white. He's thinking about the people that were lost forever, and he's like, I did not know he would use that power to kidnap and murder my people and the children. And he starts weeping.
My lord, if you were to trade places with this shadowy figure, this Nikesor, and he were to possess your body, if your body were to be killed, would that kill Nikesor?
It is possible. But I would then be trapped in the mirror forever.
My lord, you have threatened your family and your entire country's very existence. Surely it is upon you to make the ultimate sacrifice, no?
Perhaps there is another way. You say it is all water under the bridge. What's done is done, and you offer to help. Yes, maybe I have overreached since the beginning of all this. But now I am in danger, my family, my people. I will do anything for your help. You enter the mirror. Rescue my brothers and kill Nekesor in his own prison and destroy it from within. I have been researching for what seems like months now about this mirror. I can give you my preliminary research, and you can have full run of my bibliothèque. Do research.
We will look into this under one condition. Should we rescue your brothers, upon their return, you will immediately abdicate the throne to a real leader. We've heard from the cleric of the town, from everyone else we've spoke to, including your aunt. Sorry, I forgot about everyone we spoke to in that moment.
A lot of people.
A lot of people.
Even the torture ghost living in your basement.
Yes. The one that lives in an Iron Maiden. Everyone seems to agree that this town would be in much better shape if they took over. You have a son now, and a wife. Something to look forward to. Something you didn't have before you made this pact.
But Marek, he would be the next baron after me. I have a new legacy now.
Unfortunately, my lord, you are actually not the Baron. The Baron is your brother, trapped in the mirror.
If they live, I'm afraid by law, you are not the Baron.
You are not more than a common Denethor.
What did you say?
Also, Baron, if I may ask, your time as a Baron, has it been so pleasant?
For anyone, really.
You wish on yours.
It was until 10 years expired. We were prosperous.
I'm picturing like flashbacks, like Wolf of Wall Street style. Like he's just like having parties on boats with all these people. Everybody's wearing
prince.
Crashing a helicopter onto his lawn.
So good.
A time of great prosperity. I am not the leader my father was, but his ways were the old ways. I was ushering in a new prosperity for Carpad. But I understand what it is you ask of me. If my brothers live, the throne is theirs.
Well, of course, we will get that in writing. And speaking of...
I am sadly illiterate.
Does it mean you can't...
Surrounded by books.
No wonder the research is fruitless.
I can scribble something, but it will not hold up in court.
I've been staring at these strange symbols in my books.
Isn't that
It
right?
seems all for nothing, to no avail.
Isn't that right, Barry? And a guy walks in a suit. Hi, I'm Barry. I'm the Baron's lawyer. What are we thinking here? Just your basic contract? He can't read or write, so I don't know what you want him to do. Stamp it?
You can make his mark. You can make his mark, sir.
Make your mark, sir.
I'll be in the hall. I'm Barry. That is my
Bye,
lawyer, Barry. Anyways, make up your contracts, and I will smudge something at the bottom.
I suggest one additional clause. As punishment for your misdeeds, you must also agree to come with us in all our future endeavors and be our butler.
You will not be Baron. You will have no responsibilities here.
That is the most ridiculous premise I've ever heard of.
Could you imagine if we got to take this guy as a butler for all of our further adventures? Oh, that would be so great.
You want to be my butler?
You want to be my butler?
Forgive me, my lord, but once your brothers, if your brothers are to return safely, our butler sounds like the best possible route out of this alive.
Isn't there an option where I take my wife and Marek and we leave?
You must divorce your wife.
This deal's getting worse all the time.
Legally separate yourself from your child.
Yes,
Join us as our butler.
I agree with Karazor. There's nothing more unbelievable than a rich person doing a crime and getting away with it. Nothing at all.
We'll pay you a fair wage.
You don't understand. I don't even do my own shopping. I won't know what to do. I'm terrible at this stuff.
You will learn on the job.
This season 1 will not be without its hijinks. You'll have to learn how to do simple tasks. But eventually, you'll feel a sense of self-worth you never felt before. Being gainfully employed, a participating member of the economy.
Do you understand what lengths I went to make myself Baron, to give my wife and child the life they deserve, sending my brothers into an eternal midnight mirror? And now you want me to give that all up, which I understand. If my brothers live, I will. But you think I will just turn around and be your butler? It is too much to ask.
It is true, and in the end, why would we want backstabbing a person to be our butler?
I cannot be trusted.
In the same place where we sleep.
Though, correct me if I'm wrong, Alfonso, but the contract made with the Baroness's father would have been with the Baron, who is not the man we see before us, and perhaps he is actually betrothed to your older brother.
Yes.
You. Isn't it bad enough that you walked in on her nursing, and now you must give her to my brother?
What did you say? Moving on. Look, no secrets between each other, yes?
No, everything is open now on the table.
Should be no secrets between a man and his butler.
Well, during as our investigations led back, of course, to suspicious activity in the manor itself, we were left with no choice. But as you said, we are not honorable mercenaries. We broke into your safe and stole your shadow book. What is that book?
He rushes over to the cabinet, pulls out a key from his pants pocket, unlocks it.
Oh, we should have just had the key.
Oh, damn.
That would have been way easier.
So why did we think of that?
Perhaps it is I that cannot trust you.
What choice do you have, sir?
I have none. That is the Book of Night Without Moon.
Go on.
It is a place where shadows are trapped. You can use your magics to sever a shadow from someone and place it in the book.
Is your shadow in the book?
It is.
Why?
Read.
What did you say?
Can your shadow be freed?
It can, but I just thought perhaps keeping my shadow there would be safest under the current conditions. Just like getting rid of the fetchlings, getting all shadows out of the manor. My wife and child were next, but it imposes a sickness upon he or she whose shadow is taken. I did not want to put that on my family. But I would take any action to make sure this disease ends.
Can I do a knowledge check, knowledge planes or knowledge arcana, now that I know a little more about the book, to see if it would be of any use to us, in the shadow plane? You know what I mean? Like, is it something you can use to defeat a shadow in combat or something? I don't really understand what...
Yeah, roll an arcana.
Okay. I don't really understand what value it has to steal someone's shadow. That's a 22.
Yeah, so by stealing someone's shadow, it really, mechanically, it makes them sickened by a nameless melancholy until the shadow is returned. Like losing, that part of yourself. And you don't know why. You just feel sad. It can be released, but in the shadow plane, light works so differently, you don't think that it would actually be of any great help to you.
Good to know, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Grenzel deck. Remember Grenzel deck?
Yeah.
It's an aura of melancholy.
Yeah.
Just so sad.
Yeah, I wonder.
So those silhouettes in the book were shadows.
Got it.
Maybe shadows from the past were still imprisoned there, but they've been lost to time as to who they are.
Huh. Cool. Very cool.
And how long has your shadow been in this book?
I completed the ritual 3 weeks ago, maybe more. When people started getting sick, in my paranoia, I thought it would help. But now I just feel worse. Still, I think it is smart for now, and perhaps I deserve this pain.
There is another matter. What is to be done about Inofex and Ilqui?
Were you able to confront and kill the lurker?
Confront, yes.
Kill? I'm afraid not. He escaped.
What is this Inofex you speak of?
It seems the person you made a deal with has made another deal himself. He's working for a satyr, it appears, of the First World. And that is the person to whom he was sacrificing these souls. Now, it could be that with best of intentions, this person was relying on the magic of a satyr to create this barrier from the shadow plane around your village. I do not know. But he had put himself in debt to a satyr. Which never ends well. No.
Yeah.
You are
He
telling
knows.
me when this all went down, firing all of the fetchlings, sealing my shadow in a book, and making a deal with a creepy fairy was a bad idea.
Pretty much all of it.
I wish someone had told me that.
The only good
Beginning.
thing you did was keep that dude that watches the dogs. He is the best.
He's good. I like
good.
him.
Yes.
Hold on to him. You get a gem like that, you do not let it go.
Cool dude.
He's going to be a little depressed for a while, and I wouldn't ask him about it, but I would be very sensitive.
Yeah.
Right.
Did anything happen to the dogs?
More importantly, no, the dogs are fine.
Dogs are fine.
But his illicit lover is dead. But the dogs are fine?
Yes. Dogs are fine.
That's all I really care about. Yes, Gabriel. There was no way. I love my mastiff, Yosef. And it was impossible to get rid of Gabriel, so we keep him locked in there and slide food under the door for fear of catching his awful disease, which I still believe comes from the fetchlings until you prove me different.
We've pretty much concluded that the disease comes from you, right? And your actions.
I believe it is the punishment of the person to which you are breaking the deal, is it not? This is a very important point here. If you don't believe that is the case at all.
Can we all agree it's inconclusive? Barry? Guys, I think it's pretty clearly inconclusive. Yes, it could have been from him reneging on the deal with Nikesor, Or it could have come from those really friendly, helpless people.
We're going to need a few more weeks of discovery to explore this topic. I'm going to need at least 2 more depositions before we move forward on this, Barry. I'm sorry.
I think only a judge can decide. I'll be
Man. I wish Hawkraven was here. He crushed this dude.
No, we need our own attorney. We can't. We're such a disadvantage.
It's Barry.
Yes, all right. Addendum to the deal. You become our butler, and Barry becomes our lawyer.
Yes. Leave him to us in your will.
I shall leave you in the library to do your research, but let me show you what I have already discovered. Would you join me in the library?
Yes, please. Please.
He walks in there, shadowless and crestfallen. Any sort of like poise he had is gone. And takes you in the library. And there's books everywhere, and now you see like all these books on the shadow plane that you had kind of already seen before, shadows, diseases, and whatnot. The ones he pulls forward are about the shadow plane in particular, and then mirrors and magical artifacts. And he's like, I have been studying at length, and I believe this information can help you. This midnight mirror, which is a part of my family's heritage, is not unique. There are many midnight mirrors, and they are used as magical prisons by the Church of Zon Kuthon to punish those who offend the church and its god. I do not know for sure, but I would think any barony or even people in higher positions than me, somewhere in their castle, there may be midnight mirrors the families would use to punish. The mirror itself is an extraplanar prison within the mirror in which prisoners never age and are trapped for an eternity of torment. I do not know exactly what that means, and I will tell you this. He told me before I sent my brothers that there would be torment. But it is only now that I can actually think about what that really means. At the time, I was blind with jealousy. The one that we have, the one downstairs in the vaults, it was broken centuries ago. I do not know how. And because of that, it functions differently than normal. Are you magicians? Any of you have powers?
We are not, I'm
of the
afraid.
arcane?
It is a distinct weakness in our group. Some may call it a strength.
Well, we would be an ideal audience for a magic show, because we would be completely unable to detect any trickery at all. Like, come on, she just sawed that woman in half. I can't believe it.
All right. Watch these cards and pick one. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Did you pick one?
Tell me.
Just watch one. Pick one. Did you pick one?
Listen to the music.
Is this your card? Whoa. It is a mirror. It's a little mirror.
My gods.
Whether you have the magics or not, there is a command word one can say to retrieve a prisoner from the plane. But because the Baroy family mirror is broken, the command word no longer works. And the mirror leaks shadow essence from the plane of shadow into the material plane. And that is perhaps what is in the fountain upstairs. He's like coming to grips with this as he's sharing this information.
Oh, man.
Anyways, unlike a normal midnight mirror,
Normal.
the broken specimen downstairs allows for two subjects, willing subjects, to exchange positions, trade bodies, such as my deal with Nikasor. All we need to do is touch the mirrors simultaneously. And then we switch, and it lasts indefinitely, or until we touch again. When the day came that I was supposed to touch, I went there and I tried to plead my case with him. I felt as if he was going to smash his way through when I told him that I would not touch. You are there to find my brothers, to destroy Nikesor, but you also must destroy the mirror. And the only way to do it is to enter it and kill the physical manifestation of the mirror's consciousness with a shard from the material plane. From what I have read, doing so will cause the prison plane to break apart and disgorge all living creatures and items originally from the material plane through the shattered mirror and back to their plane of origin. Those native to that plane will be trapped in shadow forever.
So it operates sort of like the Phantom Zone from Superman 2.
Exactement.
Okay.
I do not know exactly how it works, but I do know, or at least I believe, my research pushes me in the direction that once the heart of the mirror is destroyed, there is not much time before you will be expelled, along with other material plane components, my brothers, for example. So make sure you do everything you need to do before you use this to destroy the heart. And he holds out a shard of a mirror.
It's very bad luck to break a mirror.
His hand shaking. I did not do it.
Alfonso will take it.
And what of Nikke Sur? Will he be expelled back to the material plane with us as his origins are here?
I do not know what powers he possesses. So I would suggest, and you seem like a group that would not mind such a suggestion, kill
No,
him
by all
inside
means.
of the mirror. Destroy him. Destroy him in the shadow plane.
Yeah.
Well, it's about time I go.
Well, there is...
One more thing.
Yeah, please, adjunct instructor.
Well, I will not be going into the mirror. I'm just a simple adjunct instructor of anthropology, but I'll be sending somebody in my stead.
It would leave us one short. You can't.
no.
You can't do this to us, Maxine Vetro.
No, Karizor, one of us must
Not meant
stay
for
here.
3. It is clearly not meant for 3.
One of us must stay here and make sure the Baron keeps up his end of the bargain, yes?
How can we accomplish this? There are only 4 of us.
No,
I believe
can
there's
work it out, Corazor. When we come back, we will speak with the Baron, and he will confirm that the adjunct instructor never left his side.
Oh yes.
That way we will know for sure.
I
that he will
agree.
be
It's a
here.
good idea. You must stay with me 24 hours a day.
Yes, Maxine. Yes, if you
It's the
stay
only
with
way.
him, never leave his side or his sight.
There is the matter of your book, Karzor. I was hoping to get some writing done while you were gone. So I thought I might just lock myself in the bedroom for...
I wouldn't
All
hear
day
of it.
long.
You will sit in my study with me and we will work together. My
Side by
research has
side.
not ended. Side by side.
It's very generous, but unfortunately, I work best alone.
No, but I insist.
man, surely the illiterate, their senses of story are heightened, much in the way that a blind man can smell things that the seeing man can't. I think you should work with him and help him, perhaps teach him to read and write while you work on this story. To have done some good in the world before the book is even published would do my heart such great good.
Ah, Karazor, you give me too much credit. I am an excellent teacher of anthropology, but I am a terrible teacher of reading. Only you, someone of your talents, would be skilled enough to teach the Baron to read.
Doesn't make any sense. I was an art history major. I couldn't teach him how to read.
All right,
But
it's settled.
The matter, we do need to...
Barry and I, by our side, 24 hours a day.
It's
the only way.
We'll talk about it. We'll keep talking.
Now,
We'll keep talking.
if you could please, Karazor, that is the best part, is we lose the adjunct instructor, but we do not have to go in with 3. Adjunct instructor, would you be so kind as to call the crystal ghost? Barry.
Hey guys, fourth for the Midnight Mirror?
You guys need a 4th?
I got an 11 o'clock tomorrow, but I'm sure time moves in a different way. You know, I can make it work.
Oh, but unfortunately, this might all be considered billable hours the entire time that we're in this phantom zone.
Yeah. Could you bill
And
for
if
eternity?
if it is timeless in there, that is going to be pretty pricey. We can always work something out. Maybe we'll just get rid of this butler clause to start.
You drive a hard bargain, Barry.
You're good, Barry. You're good.
He is good. He's the best.
All right, I'm in.
Unfortunately, we have not discussed fee.
I thought about that in adjunct instructor, and I thought it doesn't matter what we negotiate with this one, as his brother is the Baron when he returns, and we'll overrule anything he says. So
That's
we
true.
plead-
Although we do know
plead our
that he is
case.
a terrible negotiator, so maybe we should take advantage of that now before the
Yes.
new guy takes over.
I am the
Barry-
family lawyer, so anything you want to say to them, if they're still alive, you can say it to me.
Barry, what do you think? If we made a contract with the current Baron and then brought back the real Baron, what would that contract still be in effect?
You know, this reminds me of a case I worked on last year. The People versus Cheliac Steve.
Poor Cheliac Steve.
And there is precedent. That's all I'll say. Not unheard of. That guy's a real asshole.
Really? You don't like him?
I can't believe you, Barry. You disappoint me. I thought that you were a great guy, and now Cheliac Steve. He is a litmus test for who is a good guy or not.
Do you know what he was being sued for? The People versus Cheliac Steve. That's all I gotta say. Not just one person.
And yet he thinks so highly of you, Barry.
Well, I got him off. I'm a defense attorney. I don't know if I
I
mentioned.
said, indicted is not convicted. That's what Cheliac Steve always says to me. He always says, indicted is not convicted.
In my line of work, you need a little thing called evidence. Anyways, I'll suit up. I have no martial skill, but I'll see you guys at the mirror in 5.
All right.
Let's take a quick 5.
Good thing I brought my adventuring clothes. Justin doing his tie.
Oh my God. The Crystal Ghost would be happy to sit this one out if Barry really does want to go.
And we could take 5.
I'll go get a drink.
Yeah. Could we
Oh,
take
this one.
5?
I've always wanted to visit the Shadow Plane. My wife's from the Shadow Plane, you know. She's always trying to get me to visit the in-laws, and I'm like, honey, I gotta work. I'm a lawyer.
You know, you spend your whole life living right next to the Shadow Plane, and you never visit it until people come here to.
I mean, there's only all those touristy shadow plane things to do. I mean, they just seem, it's like going to the Statue of Liberty and living in New York
Trite.
City.
Something trite about it.
I like it right here. I like it right here. I'm really at home in the courtroom. That's where I'm most at home.
That's the real Shadow Plane, am I right?
Is that why they call you the closer?
That's
Barry the
Told you
closer.
All right, so you're left in the library. If there's any other research you want to do before heading downstairs and into the vaults, the Baron has told you, he's like, I'll take you down there. I'll send you through, and you'll be trapped forever if you fail.
Perfect. Could you just go over for me again, because it's been a little while. Could you go into detail about the research mechanic, the Pathfinder research mechanic?
Please. What's the DC to roll against? Of
Yeah,
the
what is
library?
the Troy? How many hours, and what's the exact DC? If you could spit that out real quick, maybe.
Fun little tidbit, Zoni. Because you passed your diplomacy intimidate check by 5, he gives you all of the research you would have found if you were in there. So.
Okay.
Sounds a little metagamey to me. I'd prefer to role play out 6 hours of research.
He gives you up to DC 25 worth of info. The only thing he didn't tell you was about the shadow plane itself. So if you want to...
and is that because he doesn't know about it?
Yeah, I mean, he knows a little bit, but his research has been primarily on the mirrors connection and how the mirror works, and about deals with people from other planes and how that works, which didn't really help him. There's not a lot of precedent there. But in terms of the shadow plane itself, he's never been. He kind of has a outdated view of it.
Okay. So is there any viable research in this room that could
we
teach
talk
us
to Barry's
anything
wife?
about the shadow plane?
Yeah, and you could just spend some time if you want, and give me a what is it? You can roll a relative knowledge check, so you can go knowledge history or knowledge planes. We'll say would be the relevant knowledge.
I'll do knowledge planes.
Yeah, planes is going to be best. Not really history.
Come on, let's get a 20 on this new die. Not yet, but not bad. 29 knowledge planes.
Nice.
That's not bad at all.
It's a natty 17.
So you know that as was joked about, time moves differently. People don't age in the shadow plane, and you don't need to eat. You're constantly sustained. You don't need to eat or drink. Light itself is difficult. It's almost perpetually dark inside of the shadow plane, and light, it's not like you can just light a torch or cast a light spell and have it be lit up. The range of those spells is shortened, and the efficacy is dropped by, I think, a step. So, a torch might give you dim light as opposed to dim light at half range. And magic works differently. Shadow magic is accentuated. Light magic is diminished, impeded.
This may be a problem. I know all of you have no problem seeing in the dark, but me, I am blind by it. And if a torch is completely ineffectual, I do not know what I will do to see.
And you also would know it's so dark in there, it's too dark for even low light vision to function.
What about the ever-burning torch we found? Does that have a special magic to it at all that would differentiate it from a normal torch? Let's take a look at that thing.
Let's take a look at that. Let me see that son of a bitch. Barry? Oh, you got the classic ever-burning torch there. My wife gave me one for my birthday. I never use it.
But it does really feel like something that was put into the module to help in just this situation. Right?
It sheds light like an ordinary torch, but it doesn't emit heat or deal fire damage. So it's like a continual flame spell. So in the shadow plane, it would give you dim light, which would allow low light vision to even function.
Great.
But if you don't have that, you're still in darkness. So you would need... Man, I don't know what you need. It's pretty rough if you don't have dark vision.
Could you say that again?
It's pretty rough if you don't have dark vision.
No, I mean, so like you just can't see?
My understanding is... I got 50 tabs open here. It's dark. Too dark for low light vision to function.
Without any aid, you're saying?
Without any aid, yeah. So if you light it, let me just look. Sources of light, both magical and mundane, have their ranges halved. So when you cast light on yourself, it's 20 feet around you. It's 10 feet instead.
Great.
You may have lied about it. Yeah, it has the range. It doesn't have the efficacy. So
What what
Does
level?
that make sense? Yeah.
Yes, but it also says to me that a torch is, I believe, 20 feet, and then another 20 feet of dim light. And so would that mean it like goes 20 feet and then just like cuts off because the dim light is swallowed up? Because if no low light vision is effective, I don't know. Is there such thing as dim light, or is all bright light dim light?
Right.
And
I feel like
Does the shadow plane explanation say like what level that effect is? Because technically, a light spell, counter and dispel darkness spells of an equal or lower level. I would imagine an entire plane would be a higher level than a level 2 or 3 spell, but
yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but like I can look it up. Basically, light spells, if you want to cast a light spell, you actually have to roll a concentration check
That's
to
so
see if
cool.
it works. And so you imagine you're gonna be the light for the party, and that's all you can do. You can't fight. You got to concentrate on the light. So your best bet is torches. The range is halved, and I guess it would provide dim light, right?
20 feet of dim light.
20 feet of dim light.
Well, but you're saying it doesn't take it down a step. You didn't.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but that's what's weird. If it's too dark for low light vision to function, why would a torch give you bright light?
Well, because I think that
still light.
I think it's just saying it's dark enough that it's darkness. It's total darkness. So low light vision doesn't see anything unless there's light provided.
Right.
Unless you see that it says light takes a step lower, a step down, then I would say that a torch shines bright light in 10 feet and dim light another 10 feet beyond that. That's having
I'm
the
fine
range.
with that. I mean, because think about it. There's no other way for someone without dark vision to function.
Right.
So it's more about the range, which makes sense. Okay. So imagine that, just pure darkness. I wish I knew better how to do on Roll20 like the light, because it would look really fucking cool here. You can only see around that circle.
Yeah.
So
very Diablo
if it's 20
2.
feet, wouldn't it be 10 feet then?
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 feet bright and then another 10 feet dim.
10 feet bright, 10 feet dim. Okay. So
as it trails off.
If you do cast light on yourself in there, just remember two things. One, put it on your character so you see how much light you're dealing with, and you can only use your weapon one-handed if you have to hold it. Just keep that in mind. Barry?
Yes, yeah.
Hey, guys.
Barry, you see them off?
I'm ready. He's got his feet up.
All right, Adjunct Instructor, we wish you best of luck in your writing.
I'm off to do some writing, and I
Get
hope
over here. Sit at my table. I will get you some... Lawrence, yeah! Cool Whip!
I'll be right back. I have to get my materials, my research.
Before you leave, real quick, and Alfonso pulls out a GoPro, and he's like, I'm just going to tie this to your forehead, so we have a record of everywhere you go.
That is nice.
Yes.
Hold still.
Later on, you find it that the adjunct instructor just tied it to the dog's head.
Man, she walks out on fours a lot.
She really smells a lot.
Must be a writing thing.
It's part of my process. I crawl around on all fours and sniff butts.
Did she lick that dog's crotch?
Barry, is it legal what she's doing in this footage to that other dog? Is that?
It's incriminating. It's incriminating.
It won't look good to a jury, I'll tell you that much.
I slip a dollar bill into Barry's pocket, so he's now my representation, and we have privilege.
Hand it to me.
That's
Thank you.
Yep. Okay.
Right. Anything you can say to my client, you can say to me.
Thank you, Barry.
Let me get my research materials, and Baron, I'll meet you in your study in just a moment.
All right, I will stay right here in this position until you return.
Great. Be right back.
All right.
And a minute later, the adjunct instructor's bedroom door remains closed, but you hear the sound of her window opening curiously. And another minute later, and someone knocks at the door of the mansion.
And Laurent enters. Hello! Oh, what are you? Trick-or-treater?
How dare you?
I do not have
the crystal ghost.
any candy. Our candy shopper has taken a vacation.
I'm told that there is a cause there is injustice here, and I'm here to serve justice.
Oh, aren't you adorable? But again, I do not have any candy, so...
Excuse me.
Goodbye! You're wearing a silly mask! What do you want me to say?
My mask was made by the finest mask makers in all of Cheliax.
Really?
Yes.
Could anyone buy one of these masks?
Oh no. You have
What if it was someone who had bigger dreams for himself? Someone who did not want to be a majordomo like his father and his father before him, but was told, "You will be a majordomo! It is in our blood!" If you wanted to be a hero.
Are you telling me that you too serve justice?
Wherever there is justice that needs to be served, Laurentieux is there.
Do you have sketches?
He gives you a symbol that you don't recognize.
We'll discuss when I return from the Shadow Plane.
Yes, I do not understand what that means, but I will make some sketches to hand you, a complete stranger, after you presumably just enter the house and walk around.
I'm saying I would be willing to give you notes on your vigilante identity and your name, perhaps,
All right,
for a workshop it.
I will work on some things and perhaps give you the sketches and some gold. And next time you visit from Cheliax, maybe you have a costume for Laurentieux?
We'll talk.
I do have one name I could
Yes,
float
tell
at
me.
you.
Whoa.
I'm just going to throw it out there. If you do not like it, you throw it back at me. Measure Domo. I am a Major Domo by day and Major Domo by night.
Sir, yes, sir.
It's like Captain America.
That's right.
Major
it is the
Domo.
Nidal equivalent of Captain America. Think about it. I make some sketches.
Well, let me tell you, here's what I love about it.
Go on.
Everyone knows exactly what you're about.
Exactly.
Major Domo.
Domo.
One thing to just think about, just to like toss around.
Oh, okay.
If you're concerned
He's
about
clearly not ready for criticism.
Okay.
Okay.
One key.
I thought it was a good
thing
idea,
about the
but-
vigilante lifestyle is protecting your family members from your arch enemies, murdering them in their sleep.
Right.
And it concerns me they might suspect you're a major domo in real life.
But I hadn't really thought of that. I also wasn't open to such an honest critique right off the bat. Perhaps you go upstairs and I will think on this and we will never speak again.
The crystal
revoir!
guy just kind of slaps him on the back encouragingly and then goes upstairs.
He's just ripping up papers as he goes. Crystal Ghost appears in the study.
No, my friends.
Who let you in?
You are good.
Lauren, too, was kind enough to let me in.
Oh, right. This is your friend that is going to go into the midnight mirror with you, yes?
Yes, I've been listening outside the window this whole time, so there's no need to catch me up on any exposition.
Good. I was going to hand wave it anyway. All right, let's go downstairs. I do hope I don't miss the adjunct instructor when she returns, but I will go knock on her door. I have keys to all the rooms as well. I can just check in on her. Come, let us go downstairs to the...
Best not to might disturb her. You might walk in on her changing, for example.
No, it's fine.
Stay
I
on
will
top of
knock.
her. Stay on top of her. She's got to keep her nose to the grindstone with this book. We have a deadline to meet. So just go in there every 5-10 minutes. Just check on her. Bring her 10. Have some excuse. Bring her water. Whatever. Just make sure she's working on that book, and that she is in there.
I am no writer, but I assume that is what writers enjoy. Constant disturbances.
Yes, that is the method most of them prefer when they're trying to get something done. Are you new here? Am I taking crazy pills?
Put yourselves on the map. down in the basement in front of that one door that you could not unlock.
Oh, right. Yeah, as soon as he started mentioning the mirror downstairs, I was like, it's behind that door that we couldn't open. What would have happened if we got in there? We're like, I grabbed the mirror. Oh, my God.
Troy, is the crystal ghost pawn anywhere nearby?
I think I threw it out. No, I had it somewhere. The maps are so big, I like hit it on the map somewhere, and now it's gone forever.
So we'll find her eventually somewhere in the shadow plane.
How about you could be her for now?
That's good.
I'll just use I'll use the adjunct instructor's pawn. There's no real reason why they should be translatable, but it'll work in a pinch.
In a pinch. Yeah. Anyways, I'll track it down.
Is that Barry now?
Just
Barry
shows up in full
presents
plate.
very differently than I expected, but I like it.
You know, if he had a suit of armor and weapons just waiting for that time when he could like finally strike out his
But
invention.
he still had like a coat tie on the front and little lapels on his. Yeah, it'd be perfect.
Cufflinks.
By the way, is there any chance of us getting a wand of detect magic before we go into this place? Does he have one in the house somewhere with a few charges left?
I do not, but if there is something in there, I've heard if you have the appraise skill and beat it by 5, that is all you need.
Is
And
it-
every player puts points in appraise. Every good player. You will not need such things. You are a good player.
All right, fine. Just logging that I would have gone and bought that if I was allowed.
If you want to run down the street and buy one, you totally can. It's not like you need to leave right now.
Okay, great. I'll run down the street and buy one.
All right, he takes you down to the door. He pulls out a key, and at the end of the key is the shape of a crescent moon, similar to the one on the book of the Night Without Moon. He inserts it into the slot, turns it. You hear the old ka-thunk of an ancient lock, and it opens to
Amazing.
a 20-foot long hallway, 10 feet wide, which then opens up into a larger room. And you see in the middle of the room, surrounded by light,
My gosh.
a mirror.
Oh wow.
Oh, this was the one that we took 20 on and still couldn't beat.
Yeah.
That's right. So this is either a DC 35 or it's an unopenable door.
There's a never-burning torch at each cardinal direction around the mirror.
Oh, very cool.
Cool.
There it is. I do not come here often anymore. Too many bad memories of the decisions I have made. Decisions that have helped me and my family very much. But now I realize the cost was too great. There is no love lost between my brothers and I. They will no doubt want me dead. Just, please, if I agree to leave, try and have them spare me. For it is not what I did, but what I am doing now to right the wrongs. Yes, they have been in eternal torment for 10 years, which I can only imagine was centuries in the shadow plane. But tell them I said I'm sorry.
I said, I'm sorry.
Did you have any cute nicknames for one another that we could say, like maybe, "Hey Yosef, my little fufu, mon petit chouchou"?
We would say such things, but see if he responds to Zeef Zeef.
Zeef Zeef.
Zeef.
Okay.
You know, we'll also be sure to tell them that, to your credit, you did make a deal with an evil fairy to bring demons from the first world in to fix things.
Or don't imagine that.
No, I'm sure they'll be glad to know you've been making an effort.
Maybe we can talk about it afterwards. I would not open with that I have, again, definitely mention the I'm sorry part. That, I think, will really go over well.
And we'll also mention the stealing his bride part, too.
Again, that
You've
was
been
my
taking
wife.
such good care of his wife.
That is my wife. We met, we fell in love. There is a dowry. It is, I will be taking her with me. Along with my
Nothing more romantic than a dowry. Yes.
We'll also make sure to note that you've invested his dowry very well.
Yes. In food.
Alfonso walks up to the mirror.
Oh, you don't want to roleplay this anymore, Joe?
Nope. I am enraged at how long it's taking to get to the shadow plane. What do I do?
Yeah. Do we touch another mirror? What is it?
Does Shadow Alfonso have to touch it at the same time on the other side?
No, he has to, I believe, this is what I'm looking at real quick. He says a command word and can send you in. I just want to make sure I'm getting this. Yeah, he's going to send you through the mirror.
Okay.
He gives you that piece of the fucking broken mirror, which I can tell you right now acts as a +1 Bane dagger.
Oh, nice.
And the wielder takes no penalties for using an improvised weapon.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Could I try to do or could I hold up the longsword that we stole from the vault to and have Alfonso appraise it just to know if it's magical?
Yeah, try it.
Well, that is a 21 appraise. I don't think I get inspiration on appraise or for free inspiration on appraise.
I thought you bought the wand. Were we joking about that?
You're right. I did buy the wand and I bought 20 charges. So, yeah, we can do that. I totally forgot about that already. All right. First charge. Boom. So that's a spellcraft check, which is probably going to be way lower now. No, natty 19, 27 spellcraft with the detect magic.
Those were all +1 weapons.
Oh, wow.
Oh, sweet.
I'll just blanket you. Barry's like, guys, save your time. Those are all +1 weapons.
Okay.
Does he say save your charges?
I did some appraising in the early days. Any shit. The Baron is like, you move. I found it in the book. You move close to the mirror, and I utter a word, and you go in there. Understand, because the mirror is broken. Though I have lied about many things, I will not lie about this. I want to repeat again. There is no way out unless you destroy the consciousness of the mirror, the heart. But when you do, all else will be lost. So I thank you for trusting me. I thank you for taking an interest in the Carpad and my home and my family. Once again, I'm sorry. Tell me when you are ready.
Karazor draws his great sword off his back.
I am ready.
Crystal Ghost flips the Borai family longsword around. I'm ready as well.
Cut Braven 3 times.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. It's okay.
Alfonso pulls out his old rapier and throws it as hard as he can down the hallway. Clack, clack, clack.
Barry's like, sorry, I'm late. He's in full-on adventuring gear, and he was just impaled by a rapier. Just had to call the wife and say I was going to the shadow plane, and then
You didn't know how right he was.
I'm going to make that canon.
Oh, he said, okay, good.
All right.
We were just getting to know Barry.
I know.
Damn it.
Barry. Barry, no.
Are you ready?
Yes, we're all ready.
Yes, we're ready.
Good luck, and thank you. And as he starts speaking, the words start to echo in your mind and lose all sense of what he was saying or chanting. And existence as you know it starts to shimmer around you and eventually fade out into complete darkness. You can kind of see right where you're standing, the mirror still there, but the whole room is pitch dark and extremely cold. Feels like it's only a few degrees above freezing. But you can still see what looks like that mirror right in front of you, just like it was seconds ago. There's no color. It's really cold. What do you do?
Pull out the ever-burning torch. My
Well,
left
the
hand,
ever-burning torch.
which doesn't have an index finger. Hold it up. Around 10 feet.
I would direct you to roll 20.
Oh, the crystal ghost is here.
Ah, gotcha. You hold it up, and you see a small room. You look around at the walls of the room, and the walls are they look like they're made of some black wood-like substance, but they're undulating. It looks like the walls are breathing. It's like a black substance.
Like an
that just
ebony breathing type of, yeah.
Yeah, in and out. In terms of the room itself, you see a chain-bound mirror, identical to the one that was in the basement of Boroi Manor, standing unsupported in this small stone room, a smaller room than the one you were in. Frigid air is thick with the impenetrable darkness beyond the edge of the torch. And the only source of light beyond the torch is a little bit coming from the mirror itself. The flickering flames, perhaps, back in Boroi Manor, around the mirror. But when they were orange in Boroi Manor, they're coming through as like little silver, pale silver glints. As if the illumination had to strain the color from itself to penetrate the darkness here.
Wow.
You look around at each other, and you're all in black and white. Different shades of gray.
So freaking cool.
This is very Twilight Princessy.
Yeah.
You see the Baron on the other side of the mirror. Just look in. And then turn and walk out of the room. What you gonna do?
Karazor is going to take the lead. He's going to walk up to this door here and try to open it.
Walk up to the door, and you open it. You see a chamber similar to the one where you met Aunt Evgeny Baroi, but it's all backwards.
That's what I thought was going to happen. That was gonna be the
Weird.
same
Oh,
map.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. There's stairs going up and a door on the western end of the room.
I'm so pissed that you dummies had to role play for 40 minutes instead of just letting us get in this shit. This is awesome.
Give the people what they want, Joe. Give the people what they want.
Barry died for this.
I'm people.
I'm people.
I'm people too, Matthew.
I'm people. I'm people.
You see shelves all around the room. If you remember the room where the Iron Maiden was, there were torture instruments everywhere. These shelves have some implements of torture, but also bones and empty bottles. And there is an Iron Maiden, but it looks a little different. Doesn't quite have the same visage. The woman on it looks different.
Do we think the brothers are being held in the cells? The shadow cells?
Before we do that, I'd like to check out those bottles real quickly.
Check out the bottles again, everything in black and white.
Right.
Most of them are empty. Some have a little bit of liquid in it that you swish around. It's just like this black, viscous fluid.
Ugh.
Can't really make heads or tails of it. There's no real altar in this room like there was in the other one. It's just like a crumbling wooden shelf where the altar was. And the whole room, you know, is like a spatially compressed version of the room in Baroy Manor, similar to the mirror room. Like, you know, you're in a bigger room, and then you came here in a smaller room. You feel like the walls that are still black and breathing around you have closed in on you. Stairs going up. Door to the west.
Let's check out the door.
Let's see what's behind. Door number 1. You open up the door. It opens with ease, and you see a long hallway that has little alcoves on each end. Can't really see further in, but you assume there are more alcoves. Give you a little flavor. Whereas in Baroy Manor, there were cells here. These look like crypts.
Oh, weird.
Because there are... Does anybody step into the room?
Yes, Karazor steps in.
Karazor steps in, and you see 6 5-foot square alcoves branching off of this 30-foot hallway. And within each alcove is a sarcophagus about 6 feet tall. And it's made from that same shadowy substance as the walls and the floor. So you look at them, and they also appear like they're breathing.
Oh, man.
Alfonso, roll a knowledge planes.
Oh my god, I'm so scared. Oh man, 30.
30.
A natty 19 on this new die.
Nice.
Very
It's
nice.
incredibly ominous that there would be crypts here, because you know, while time flows naturally, people don't age in places like this. From what the Baron has told you, the whole point of a midnight mirror is an eternity of torment and pain. So people probably, if they die here, it's from suicide because they can't take it anymore, or from the prison itself pushing the absolute limits of their mortal being, that they perish.
They're slowly withering away into atrophying their soul to just cease to exist.
Everybody roll a perception check.
3.
20.
12.
Oh man, 16. That is like as low as it gets for Alfonso. Oh,
All right. What did you get there, Crystal?
12. I rolled a natural 3.
Okay. Braven and Alfonso, as you walk in and start examining this, you feel something under your feet, and you look down and you see several small bone fragments.
Small. Braven will reach down and pick one up and do, I guess, a heal check on it to try to identify it or acknowledge nature, whatever makes more sense.
Okay. Yeah, roll a heal check.
Okay. Total of a 17 on that roll.
Looks like a toe bone.
Whoa.
And if you keep looking, it looks like a dozen or so finger and toe bones.
Oh, is this the bits that were sacrificed?
Sacrifice?
Oh my god.
Everybody roll another perception check.
All right, come on, let's get this one. Let's get
A
this
natural
one,
20 on that
Alphonse.
one.
Oh, there you go. That's a 25 for Alfonso.
6.
9.
29.
Alfonso and the crystal ghosts both notice movement from the middle alcoves.
Movement.
Unfortunately, Braven and Karazor do not, as a sinewy-looking bone snake with a humanoid head just pops out. Oh! Roll for initiative.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, humanoid head.
Do the song.
Yeah. Oh, God.
We got
It's all
Joe.
right. Everybody hang in there. Hang in there.
Vamp, everybody.
Oh, God, no.
Technically, did Alfonso see this thing
I
pop
was
up
so in
with
the
his
zone.
limited dim light vision? I want him to be screwed too.
Watch this. We got it back.
Alfonso,
We got it back.
you have your light on?
I do have my light on, yes.
All right, so you probably wouldn't have been able to see them where they're standing.
Well, you said they went like this, so I assume that meant that, you could see it from the corridor.
No, but it's in terms of how far you can see in your light
I can
source.
see to that square. I can see 20 feet. I can see to that square.
You can
Nice.
see the dim light, because remember, it's 10 feet of regular light.
And then
But
He's got
10 feet of dim.
he's got
I have low light vision.
You level it? All right, so you're all good. So
Yeah.
you do get a surprise round with them.
A surprise round is my favorite kind of round.
Joe, can I hear it
All
one
right.
more time? I just really want to hear it one more time. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm sorry. It's a little quiet. Let me just work my magic for a second here and try to get a little. There she is. There she is. So we'll be getting some more drops. Only took 20 weeks. Some more drops.
Talk to me about initiative, Braven.
16.
16 for Nish. Not bad. Karazor?
Not bad at all.
7.
7.
Rocks.
Crystal G.
11.
Oh no, Crystal Ghost! You are supposed to act in the surprise round.
Alfonso.
15 for Alfonso Moria.
Let's talk about the surprise round. Surprise! They both rolled an 18, so they'll go first.
Oh no.
Surprise. All right, so here's what happens. One of them moves up to Karazor, and the other one stands, kind of moves in and back a little bit. Yeah, I like that. And that's what they do. And now it is Alfonso's turn in the surprise round.
Alfonso in a surprise round. Well, there isn't much time. He is going to first see if he can identify what these creatures are. Bone snake. I feel like I, as a player, know some bone snake stuff, but let me just give a. Is it knowledge, religion, or are they?
I can tell you right now, I'm pretty sure it's going to be dungeoneering.
Are they aberrations? That would be Don John.
It's Arcana.
Oh, magical beasts, is it? Magical beasts. All
Everything
right.
you've said has been
Yes. I love a good knowledge roll. 28.
Ooh. Okay.
Give me all the juice. Give me all the
These
juice.
creatures are known as Necrophidius.
Oh,
What?
oh, dude.
Sound great.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I know exactly what this thing is.
Really?
And I think
I've
it's
never heard of it.
horrible.
They're not great, but the fact that there's two of them is what makes them really shitty. You rolled a 28. That's going to give you almost everything, if not everything. They have DR5, bludgeoning, can get through.
Yeah.
They're constructs, so they have construct traits.
Yep.
They have this ability known as Dance of Death, which anyone within 30 feet is going to have to roll against, and it's bad. You're dazed if you fail.
Oh, no.
What else? If they bite you, they can paralyze you.
Yep, it's paralyzed. I knew it. That's the thing. They paralyze you, dude. I can't believe there's two of them. That's amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
You guys are 4th level now. It's time to
Yeah.
bring out The big.
It's time to grow up.
It's time to grow up. If only Barry were here to see this.
Barry might not be dead. I mean, all he did was take a rapier straight into the body. But
All we know is he couldn't get onto the shadow plane because he had a rapier in his neck. Maybe he made a full recovery. Maybe you'll never find out if he get trapped in the shadow plane. Alfonso, what do you want to do?
Alfonso will. He is going to
Mover standard.
He will. Jeez, I just don't think I can. Yeah.
Tight corridor to try and move. So do you got any fun? Standard, shoot through 9 guys, drink an extract.
Yeah, especially if it's like throwing something, it would be an issue because of all the cover and everything. And oh man,
You have a lot of knowledge
he can
now, so.
drink an extract as a standard here. I'm just trying to. Oh man, I'm having a hard time with this. All right.
With this?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drink a vial of True Strike.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and drink it,
And that's
really
standard
hope
for
that
it.
I get a chance. Yeah.
Okay.
Standard action, and hope that I get a chance within the next round.
Crystal
And
Ghost.
he will tell the party exactly all of this. Be careful, the necrophidius. They can paralyze you. Stay away if you can.
Crystal Ghost, you get a standard or a move here in the surprise round.
So the Crystal Ghost is going to forego her surprise round.
Wow. Was that something your lawyer recommended?
Yes, I've discussed
Advice
it with
from my attorney.
on the advice of my counsel. I will forego my surprise rounds.
Let's get nasty. The one in the back starts swaying back and forth ever so gently. Imagine it's got that's the image of it. It's this bone body with this oddly humanoid head with snake-like jaws, and it just starts swaying, dancing, if you will. I'm gonna need everybody to roll a fucking will save.
Oh no, that's not my good one.
Come on, Norse Foundry. I'm begging you. This is such a long shot.
failures.
This is such a long shot. Oh no, fail.
Oh no.
Oh no. Raven, what'd you get there, good buddy?
15. I'm worried.
Okay, 15. You're all right.
Oh wow.
O'Brien,
10.
you're not all right. You are dazed for 5 rounds.
Ooh. What is that? Is that a 1d6 and you rolled 5?
No, it's 2d4.
2d4.
This is bad. This is bad. Crystal Ghost?
I also rolled a 10.
Oh, you're only dazed for 3 rounds. Karazor?
A natty 19 for 21.
Oh, crush. It's good that you hit that, especially since the next one is going to try and bite and paralyze you.
I just want to go on record with
Dazed.
something. I just want to go on record with something, and I swear to you, this has nothing to do with me being dazed. I really was going to pull back on the True Strike and say that I don't have it next round, because I realized he has both hands full with a torch and a sword. So there's no way he could have drank it. And I was going to say that. I swear to you, and just forego the surprise round because I fucked up. But with the daze, it's gone anyway. And, we'll probably all be dead anyway. So
You know, it's
What's the
funny.
big
This is how dazed reads in the book. The creature is unable to act normally. A dazed creature can take no actions, but has no penalty to AC. Next sentence: a dazed condition typically lasts 1 round.
I just read that.
yeah, except in O'Brien's case.
And this clearly
Break
didn't.
someone out of daze?
This clearly didn't come from a day's spell, correct?
No, this is a
Super whatever special monster
yeah.
ability. Okay.
I remember I ran a game with a Necrophidius, and I remember thinking one of these could TPK a party with a few missed rolls, because it then paralyzes. So if half the party gets dazed on the Dance of Death, and then one more gets paralyzed on a bite, like, but what do you do? 2d4 rounds?
Here comes the bite on Karazor, who is flat-footed, I think?
Yes, I am
Flat-footed. Vitamin C.
Oh no, 22 to hit.
That's a hit for sure.
All right, well now this is where a fighter is going to come in handy. Let's talk about the damage here. 7 points of damage. Now I need you to roll probably the most important fortitude save of side quest side sesh.
whole thing. Oh my
He's
God.
paralyzed and the two of them are dazed. They're just going to go in for kills.
Fight's over, yeah.
Oh, no,
Coup de grace.
me old buddy,
Well,
don't
that's-
film me now. All right, natty 5.
Oh no!
That's a 12.
DC 13. You are paralyzed for 4 rounds! And we'll see you next week!
Dude, no!
Well, at least we'll get a magic user.
Dead! I mean, there's no way! There's no way! Oh, we'll continue this fight in the after party. No, just kidding.
Oh, no.
God, I hate
Unbelievable. Thanks for coming, everybody!
Thanks, guys. Love
Bye
you guys.
forever. Bye.
Bye.